Meantime, Kieran Dorker is an employment lawyer with Slater and Gordon, joining us now. Much has been made today about the fact that Lord Reynard has refused to apologise. Some suggestions that if he does apologise, then he leaves himself open to legal claim. What do you think?
It depends how he apologises and what he says in the apology. He could give a very corporate apology. I'm sorry that you feel aggrieved by anything that I've done. You know, that kind of thing might be more open. But even if he does apologise, it's still subject to legal test. So he could say, I'm sorry for the way you feel or for causing you any upset. But the legal test, generally, in employment issues, would be, well, has there been some conduct? He's not necessarily going to be saying that he did anything, but has there been some conduct which was unwanted, and did it create an environment which was intimidating or hostile or degrading? And that has to be the reasonable perception of somebody. So while the victim might well have felt that this was harassment, would a reasonable person agree that that was harassment?
And that's not been proven beyond reasonable doubt, according to the senior barrister QC, Alistair Webster, who has investigated this. That doesn't mean he's innocent. It means that it hasn't been proven.
Well, the legal test for a criminal case is different,
okay.
And from the employment context, that's the case, and it's done on a balance of probabilities, i.e., was it more than 50% likely that this happened?
Explain that to us in more detail.
So, in the employment tribunal, you'd be looking at whether there was a balance of probability that something happened. So, was it more likely than not that it did happen? Was it over 50% chance that something did happen? And that's through looking at the evidence, hearing witnesses, that kind of thing. What was the internal process followed by the employer? Did they follow their policy properly? Have they properly educated their workforce? And could they have prevented these kind of things happening?
Would he have any legal recourse?
Lord Reynard?
Yeah. Some suggestion at this stage, well, let's speak more generally, should we? Some suggestion at this stage that he is considering further legal action because he has been suspended from the party. What would he have to prove in order to have some legal recourse?
I don't know what his legal course would be. I know there's been some recent developments in that he's being disciplined for not following the orders of Nick Clegg. In an employment context, I mean, I don't even know what his status is within the organisation, whether he's employed by the Liberal Democrat Party. If he's employed, then he may well be under obligation to follow the reasonable orders of his boss, Nick Clegg.
Yeah, well, he certainly represents the party within the House of Lords, and he receives a payment for going to the House of Lords to represent the party every time that he does. Today he has chosen not to go. He says he's unwell and can't attend. Interesting that the senior barrister said that he should apologise as a matter of common manners. Are you surprised that a barrister would say that?
Am I surprised? Well, I think it's very commendable that this investigation was undertaken, and there were some findings which would suggest that the victims were credible, that their stories were not disbelieved, and that he should take some action to try and remedy the harm that he might have caused them. But that's very commendable that there has been some suggestion of giving them something, the victims something.
It's a flipping minefield, isn't it, employment law?
Yes, it is.
It's great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Thank you. Other news for you now.